Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Erin, and this is the Utterly Unrelated Podcast.
Erin, you're a cool guy. We got new microphones. Our sound's better.
Thank you. I know, have you noticed?
Thank you for being a fan.
This is our new studio setup. It's fucking sweet. We have 2 microphones. There should be
let
no
me take
more
a picture
audio.
for the Insta.
Hell yeah. We have a pair of socks on our sweet-ass microphones.
Matching socks.
Matching socks. And,
I
you
think
know,
that's pretty important.
I think it's going to make a big difference. So everyone in my house has been fucking sick this week with some sort of cold. We all got tested for COVID. We all tested negative. DJ, oh my God. So we went to go get tested and we're in the drive-thru, and the guy who's like talking him through how it's going to go, he's so sweet. And he gets down to like car level with DJ. He pops his face shield up, you know, to be like, it's going to be okay, buddy. We're just going to, you know, we're going to do it. We're going to count to 5. We're going to be all done. He shoves the Q-tip up DJ's nose, and DJ immediately jerks his head away, so the Q-tip comes flying out. His head goes back, he faces the guy, no face shield, and right in his face just sneezes on him. I was like, no. Oh my God almighty, please let him be COVID negative. And the guy took it like a champ. He just put the face shield down and kept going and did it. But thank God we were all negative, because I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He just sneezed in your eyes. And he's like, it's all right. It's going to be all right. And I'm like, if I were that guy, I'd be screaming, what the fuck?
No. On the outside, I probably would be like, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And like the moment that you guys left, because I'm like detrimentally polite, the moment that you guys left, I would be spraying sanitizer in my open eyes, up my nose, like all over, just double teaming it, like putting like a hair gel amount on my hands. It just
in
like
my eyes.
Yeah, like day cream.
Thank God it wasn't COVID. I was it was awful. But we've all had it, so we've all been watching a ton of TV, which brought me to 2 conclusions. So I've been obsessed with Loki. I've been watching Loki a lot.
I want to.
It's very good. But
I saw a brief clip when I was picking up food one time, and I was like, meh, that looks good.
It's very good. I enjoy it. There's only 6 episodes, but honestly...
do you know if it's going to be renewed?
I don't. It probably will. I should look that up.
I'm not going to watch it till I know it's renewed.
Good point. But it did lead me to find out what I am. There's a word for what I am.
What are you?
I have hybristophilia, which is a sexual interest and attraction to those who commit crimes and villains. There's an actual word for what I am.
Huh.
People who...
Which is so funny, because, like, your husband is, like, the least crime guy.
I know.
He's, like, funny. Definitely not a villain unless somebody's, like, heckling him, in which case, you know what? They get what they get.
You know what, though? In my defense, he plays a character on stage that is you know what? Yeah. He's a villain. And so when I first met him, and I was like,
I still think that he's a just asshole, though, because he doesn't just attack, like, he won't, even if somebody walks in his show and they're wearing an affliction shirt, if they don't take the first step, he leaves it alone.
It's true.
So
he does not actively seek people out to be mean to.
No, but there's enough.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed when we first met, and I said something, I'm as close to a real life villain as I will ever get, in that I am like a micro-aggressor, passive-aggressive, just like a jerk. Like, I went to IHOP to pick up some food for my kids, and they were like, what's your name? I said, oh, Erin. She's like, what, Karen? And I was like, don't you Karen me. And I was trying to be really funny, but she didn't get the joke, and so then I was just screaming at this woman for calling me a Karen. And I was like, I didn't know if it was worse to go back on it or to move forward, and I was just like, just give me my food. And then I saw a waitress that I know there, and she was like, that's funny, a Karen. And I was like, you get it? I'm not, oh my God. I toe the line between the two. But when I did first meet Dave, I thought he was a huge asshole. And then we went somewhere, and everywhere we went, he opened the door for me and he pulled out my chair, and I was like, you're really sweet. Were you putting me on that you're not really an asshole? I know, it's weird. So Loki, I look at Tom Hiddleston's face. I've studied it. I look at it. I'm like, why? Why do I find this face attractive?
Yeah, it's a weird face.
It's a weird face, right? And I have a weird face too, like, for sure.
No, you have a regular face to
I mean, it's like a regular human face,
yeah.
But and maybe it's the bad...
For a praying mantis, you look weird.
Oh, no, I wanted to look like a regular one.
No, sorry.
It's weird because I look at his face and I'm like, okay, you have that British guy face that normally does it for me, but it doesn't. What is it about this that I'm enjoying watching your performance? Like, yeah, he's a fine actor. He's fine, whatever.
Yeah, he's all right.
No, it's not the tight pants. It's not the tight shirt. It's not the weird, like, mullet hair, which all have been things in the past that have done it for me. It is solely that when you think he's going to do something good, he does the opposite. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's what it is. And I found out that's the word for what I am. And it felt good. I was like, oh, I can breathe. There's others like me out there.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. On the flip side, I watched Freddy Got Fingered last night as like I'm gonna relax. I've watched a bunch of Loki and murder shows today. I watched a bunch of Cold Case Files. It's like, Freddy Got Fingered just came on Stars. I remember loving that movie. And for the first 20 or so minutes, it holds up. And then Rip Torn starts dropping the F-bombs, like the other F word.
Oh, the hard F?
Hard F. Hard R.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hard R's, a lot of hard F's. And then lots of like P words, like just pussy, 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 but like, oh, you're a pussy, you're a pussy. And I turned it off. I remember loving Freddy Got Fingered.
There's a lot of shit now, actually, that really does not hold up well. It's aged like milk.
Totally.
Like a lot of shit from the 90s.
And it's a lot of the comedies I used to watch. I'm like,
oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I don't love this.
Yeah.
I don't even love the depiction. I don't even love the fact that they got... This is how woke I am. I don't love the fact that they used a non-disabled person to play a disabled person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she was the it girl, and it is Tom Green and stuff, but I don't know. I went to bed fully unsatisfied last night. I was just like, well,
Tom Green has that effect.
Yeah. I was like, I turned TV off now. No more. But one movie that I was happy to revisit this year for our cursed segment is The Omen. I got it for you. I'm so excited. I was so excited because I haven't watched it in forever. So I should start with, when I was pregnant, my family went insane with suggesting names for my child. And they were like, oh, you should name it after your grandfather. Oh, what about your uncle? Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Were those good names?
No. I mean, they were just regular names. Like Eugene, Randy. I mean, they're fine names. They're fine.
You're good to not choose them.
Yeah, but like they weren't. My grandfather had gone long before I was born. My uncle didn't particularly enjoy my company. It's not like we had great times. I mean, he was very nice to me later on, but he didn't love kids, and so it was fine. And so my grandma was very like, oh, you have to name him after someone in the family. You have to do this. And I was like, I'm doing the opposite of that. And so there was a lot of like West Memphis 3 stuff happening when I was pregnant with Deej, because that's when they got out of prison. And Damien Eccles was like, he was the one on death row. He was the one who was like worried was going to get executed. And then I read his books and and so it was this whole thing. And then I watched The Omen and I was like, his name is Damien. We are naming our son Damien. And Dave was like, that's a really good middle name. I was like, hell yeah. Damien, the universe is sending me Damiens. I think he's supposed to be a Damien. And, we were going to name him David Jr. because we just couldn't think of anything else. We were going to name him Cheeseburger and Trotter Jr. and stuff. We were just being jerks about it.
You should have absolutely named him Trotter Jr.
I know. We even had like at my baby shower, we had a big bowl where people could like, damn, I've had too much coffee. Remember that where I had like, put your name suggestions here, and people did, and there were some really great ones. I suggested. I don't remember. I think you might have suggested Trotter Jr.
That's a good suggestion, though.
I'm trying to remember. It's a very good suggestion. But yeah, so we ended up going with Damien. Which, that's okay. I've got my sweater in here somewhere.
Erin spilled the coffee a little.
I'm all coffeeed up, and I spilled my coffee like nowhere except for on my computer and the power strip it's plugged into. So I'm fucking 0 for 5 today. But so we named him Damien. So from the moment he was born, I was like, it's all for you, Damien. And I wouldn't let him watch it, of course. Until this year, when I was like, oh, I'm going to rewatch The Omen because we're going to do it for the podcast. He's like, Mom, I want to know something. What's the big deal about this movie? And I was like, well, what are you talking about? He goes, every time you shout, it's all for you, Damien. It's this movie that you're going to watch when you're older. And he's like, I really want to see it. And so I thought, okay. I said, when I get to the part, I'll call you in here. You can watch it, and then I'll pause it, and you're going to leave because I don't want you to see it. That didn't work out. So he saw it. And I framed it. I was like, okay, it's this little boy's nanny, this little boy Damien. She throws in this really great party, and she's like, the party, it's all for you, Damien. And he bought it for a minute until he saw her jump off the... and then he was like, Mom, that's the joke? That's what you and Dad laugh about every time you say that? And I was like, yeah, it seems less funny in this moment, and I'm really sorry. That was probably a big letdown for you. He goes, I thought that was going to be a cool party.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of was.
It was going to be, and then suicide.
Yeah, like the hellhound showed up.
Does he now think that that's how every birthday party crescendos?
I hope not.
The party planner just offs themselves?
Oh, that's
You've set a
some
high bar,
expectations. Yeah. So for
his next birthday better be
man.
dope. We need to find a sacrifice now.
And like
So
really
if you guys
nice
know
Rottweiler.
anybody, email us at unrelatedpod.
Yeah. We do live in
Gmail.
Oregon where it is okay to assist with suicide.
Dope.
That is a dark thought. If you were like, I've got terminal cancer, I think I'd like to go out at a kid's birthday.
Yeah, well, you know,
yeah, so
maybe
now-
they were a clown. Maybe they wanted to die like they lived.
Exactly.
Scaring children.
I like that. Yeah. But yeah, now he definitely hates me for that. So he's like, because I was getting to the point where we were calling him Damien a little bit more. You know, he's getting older because we always called him DJ because his name's Damien Jacob. We were going to name him David Jr., but apparently you can't do that if you're Jewish. You can't name them after someone who's still alive. It has to be after someone who's died. And at that point, nobody had really died. Now they have, but they hadn't then. So we call him DJ, and he's like, I don't love that you named me Damien after that. I was like, well, it wasn't technically after that. It was just, I really like that name. You're going to like it someday when you're out at a bar, you're trying to smash chicks and you're playing drums or bass in some shitty metal band. You're going to be like, I'm Damien. And they'll be like,
Yeah, actually.
So yeah, it'll work out just fine.
I could teach him how to play shitty metal bass.
There we go. I can teach him how to play shitty metal drums.
Dope.
You just get like a drum pad and go, yeah, it's really...
With shitty metal bass, you get a really dope bass for like $80 used. Put on some gauntlets. Put makeup on the night before. Sleep in it.
Yes.
And then get really drunk. And when you get on stage, you turn your bass all the way down at the source and then play a good show.
I love it.
Yeah. That's how I did it.
All the way down?
All the way down.
Oh.
Unless there's a small part where, like, you have to have the bass on a little, then you just turn it up just a little bit. And, I mean, if you really want to be a piece of shit about it, you don't even have to bring, like, any cabinets or anything like that. You can just plug directly in.
Oh. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it easy for you to haul your gear.
Yeah, because all I have to worry about is the bass and being drunk.
I always thought the bass player had a good spot in the band. I always aimed for that.
Yeah, it's a nearly inaudible instrument.
Exactly. You don't actually know how to play it.
Don't need to.
Don't need to know how to play it because I never did. And I managed to pull it off through one jam session.
Dope.
Just one. Oh, so yeah. So we're getting into this because, of course, Megan did The Curse of the Exorcist. Everyone says that there are these classically cursed movies. One is The Exorcist, one is The Omen. So I did a deep dive into The Omen, and I was startled.
Yeah, there's a lot there, huh?
I was very startled. There was a lot. I was very disappointed in rewatching the movie, and I think that speaks more to how jaded I am with horror movies currently than how bad it was, because it wasn't bad. It was a good movie.
There's a lot of pregnant pauses in that movie. There's a lot of like implied terror, you know?
Yeah.
Where they just let your brain do the work.
Yeah.
Which I understand at that time was revolutionary, and now I'm just like, y'all just lazy.
Yeah. She went in the nursery room and shut the door. She's the new nanny. She clearly came. Satan sent her. You just let her walk in and shut the door? Y'all don't mind that she's with your kid? Okay, cool. We're going to go with it because that's what I take. I know. And I was like, okay, I'm being shitty. You know, maybe it's because I watched, oh my God, what was the one with Toni Collette and Gabriel Byrne and the little girl, Paimon, the demon, and she, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's not Heritage.
Heredity?
Hereditary.
I didn't think that was scary at all.
You know, I just watched it and I was like,
I was very fucking let down, to be honest.
You?
Yeah, super let down.
I was super bummed about the whole the situation with the demon jumping bodies, what was less of a letdown to me was when Toni Collette, spoiler alert, cuts her own fucking head off, and then her like headless corpse just, I don't know, it was
too fucking hokey for me. I went into it expecting like a deeply, I don't want to sound all pretentious. Like, I think that saying deeply cerebral is just fucking pretentious. But I thought that it would be like a horror movie that would get into my fucking head and like give me nightmares, and you know, I'd have to watch like Cheech and Chong for like every night to go to sleep just to like keep the scary thoughts away.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at fucking all.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie.
It was a movie, but
it took a hard left at one point, which usually all my favorite ones do.
Yeah, I was expecting the hard left going into it. I don't know, man. I wasn't impressed. I was very, very let down, to be honest, because I had really high hopes for it. Everyone kept being like, oh, it's so fucking scary. Oh, it's so fucking good. And so I was like, oh, hell yeah, that sounds right as fuck. And then I saw it and I was like, oh.
I was more upset that they killed a child.
You know, surprisingly, I actually liked her character best of all. Mm-hmm. Generally, I would be kind of like meh about them killing a kid, like I wouldn't like it, but I don't know, she was kind of like a teenager kid, and also she kind of did it to herself. It's not like she was like, I don't want to die. She was like, let me hang out this window, boom, sign. Yeah. So it wasn't.
That's true.
And I thought that the gore was really well done.
Yeah, definitely. Very tasteful.
But it just, I don't know, man. It almost kind of seemed like a Lords of Salem style film for me, where it was just like the technical effects were fucking dope. Like, the people who made the movie knew what they were doing. They just needed a plot.
Exactly.
If there was a plot, that'd be dope as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of worse scary movies than this one lately, so maybe I'm just feeling really jaded. I'm not sure, but I couldn't get all the way through it. I'm really ashamed to say. It could not hold my attention anymore.
Omen?
Yeah.
Hey, don't feel bad. I tried to rewatch it like a couple of times throughout the last 2 weeks, just so I would know what the fuck you were talking about. I saw it once, 15 years ago. And I couldn't either. I couldn't get very much past the birthday scene.
Yeah, me too.
I felt like I was watching it solely for the birthday scene, and then my attention just dropped off.
See, and I had read through all the stuff that was supposedly cursed. Probably more likely cursed than on The Exorcist, to be honest.
Oh, totally.
But I was like, okay, so I got to the point where Damien knocks his mother off of like the second rail.
Oh, yeah.
Balcony or whatever, where she's like teetering and he's on the trike. And I looked at it and I was like, dude, that's not his fault. Like, you're bad for being pregnant and like up on a stool. He is a kid. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not enjoying this or watching it with the right lens. I think I need to stop.
Yeah, totally.
So I did. So
he looks a lot like my cousin, who was that age at the time.
Oh, everybody hated that kid on the set.
What? Was he a little shit? Or
he was. They all say he was a little shit. I don't know. I think he
doesn't remind me of my cousin anymore. My cousin was a good boy.
I mean, he didn't really go on to be in Hollywood after that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I feel bad because I really wanted to get into this, but there might be a lot of asides today because I'm feeling a little, let's be honest, I'm feeling a little disillusioned with it. And maybe that also speaks to like where I'm feeling after trying to watch Freddy Got Fingered. And I mean, maybe it's just me in general, but I don't know, man.
No, there's a lot of shit that just does not fucking hold up anymore.
Yeah, I think this falls into that category. And I tried to rewatch the one with, what's the hottie guy?
There's a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. Erin.
Eckert?
Liev Schreiber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
I started to think about watching that one, and then I was like, no, I need to watch the old one.
Who do you mean, Aaron Eckert?
Yeah, I think so.
Blonde guy?
I don't actually know what his face looks like. I just know his name.
Okay, see, I dig him in Aaron Brockovich because he's got like the long biker ponytail. But
long hair doesn't do it for me.
I know, me neither usually.
Unless it's Jason Momoa.
Oh, Jason Momoa. He's getting like...
He should not have short hair.
Never should have short hair. He's getting really like good reviews in Dune, but also like that his character sucks. And I don't know because I'll never watch Dune.
You know, I fucking hate Dune.
Yeah.
One time I was like really, really sick, and my roommates watched the Disney one that was like taped over and over and over and over, and I couldn't get off the couch because like I was like kidney sick, like I couldn't fucking move. I was like going in and out of hallucinations and shit, and fucking they just kept watching it, and I was like, fuck all this, fuck Dune, fuck everything to do with Dune. And then Nick was like, oh, let's watch fucking the new Dune. I was like, no. And then he played it for me, like the preview, and I was like, oh, it's got a few of my mans. Okay.
It's got a couple.
It does. It's got a minimum 3.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is it? Did you watch it?
We got through half, and then I started like nodding out because I'm old and I go to sleep early because I wake up fucking early. Yeah. And but yeah, like last night I was doing show notes and stuff, and so we were gonna watch it, and then by the time I was done, it was like midnight, and I was like, we can watch Dune, and he was like, no, I'm good. We're gonna watch it tonight, don't worry.
Good.
But yeah, I liked it, man. I recommend it, actually. It's got Dave Bautista. I love that guy.
I love Dave Bautista.
Yeah, he's the best.
I love him. I follow him on Instagram, and he's like one of the most anti-Trump, left-wing, liberal dudes ever.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
He is like, you know, the pit bulls that are short and squat?
Yes.
He's like the person version of that.
He's like the person version of the one where they have to, like the moms have to have the C-section because their little heads are so big. Yeah, he totally is. You know what? I loved him in Stuber. It was really good.
Oh my God.
So good.
So far, I have loved him in everything he's done.
Me too.
Like, I just fucking adore that guy.
Yeah.
I never knew he was in WWE. God, what was that movie? Like The Fight for Yonkers or some shit? The Fight for Red Hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
That movie was when I was like, oh, Dave Bautista's actually a really good actor.
He's really funny.
Yeah.
He reminds me of people in my family because he's like vaguely brown, very funny. It's interesting. This is bleeding into like my life a lot.
Really good actor.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good at funny. Like when he's Drax, he's really good at
sad. He's amazing. He's just a great straight man too.
Yeah, he totally is. We should just talk about all the movies we did like instead of the ones we didn't today.
Hell yeah, I'm down. I got 8 more.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have been watching Midnight Mass. Have you been watching Midnight Mass?
Not yet.
Okay.
I intend to though.
You should. We should have a whole episode about it. Because
yeah, I'm down.
It is so good. Okay, coming soon, a Midnight Mass special event.
Sick. My next episode that I'm doing is about multiverse, but after that, or actually, you know what? You could do the next one about Midnight Mass, and I will also do that as well.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to do the multiverse one. I think the multiverse one might have to be a few parts, maybe at least 2. No?
Nah, just a really long one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. My next episode's about multiverse.
I kind of want to do that now. I want to talk about that. Why am I not wanting to get into this? Okay,
I don't know.
Let's talk about The Curse of the Omen. Where are we at?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So precisely one day after they shot the sequence involving the baboons at the animal center, it's where they go through like a drive-through safari thing. Have you ever done the one in Southern Oregon?
Yeah, I didn't know there was one, no.
Oh, it's so good. There's pictures of me on my dad's lap when I'm like 4, like, yeah, I pretended to drive the car. There's like tigers everywhere, and there's this one picture of me, and I almost put it up on Instagram, but I didn't because I was like, oh, it's a little problematic. But it's me sitting next to a clearly heavily medicated leopard, and just like, with a big cat, and the cat's like, durr, I wish I was dead because this is miserable.
I thought it was like you in like a KKK hat or something.
Oh God,
like,
no.
I was like, how problematic could you get? You were 4.
Right. But it's
just you with like a Bill Cosby shirt.
Shit. Yeah, the little sweater I'm called brown
with
face
a pudding pop.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just with this poor abused, like half dead leopard. It's really sad, but I have really good memories of it. I took the boys through it when we were driving to California. It's really amazing. Some wildlife safari thing.
That sounds lovely.
It was. This one in the movie.
As long as the animals are stoked on life.
You know what? They were when I went through as an adult.
Okay, cool.
They have totally changed the setup, and they're a lot more free range. There's no pictures with animals anymore, which I think is a good thing.
A good idea.
I think I paid like $8 for a corn dog, so like it's definitely an experience that everyone should have if they're on the road. But it's not right off the I-5, so it's kind of a little bit of a trek out of the way. But So the animal trainer for the baboons for that scene where they mob on the car, which by the way was sort of improvised because when she's screaming, she's like really screaming because she didn't know that was going to happen. So the trainer for those baboons was immediately killed by a tiger the next day.
How they got the baboons to go fucking crazy, right?
Oh, they put one in the trunk.
Their baby, and put it in the car. And that's why the baboons were going crazy, was they were trying to get their baby out of the fucking car.
Oh my God, that's so awful.
I know.
Oh, so awful. That would not pass standards today.
Oh shit, no.
Oh my gosh. So another curse, spooky curse. An IRA bomb ripped through a hotel in which the executive producer and his wife were staying, and another in which some of the stars, including Gregory Peck, were supposed to have dinner. To me, that's stretching it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're supposed to have dinner but they didn't because the place blew up, I don't think that should count as the curse. But it's the IRA, so I feel like that's not... Okay, could the IRA be weaponized by Satan to punish these people? Absolutely. Yeah, sure. But I don't know.
I also agree that that's a stretch because, okay, like with the Tate murders, for instance, there's a bajillion, like every actor who was active in Hollywood at the time was like, oh, we were supposed to be over there at the time. And like nobody was. They weren't throwing a party or anything, but they just frequently did throw parties. And so I think that was an easy thing for people to hitch their wagon to. And
I think that's what we're running into with all of these cursed films that we're researching. You know, they're so in the canon of like, oh, there's curses, it's evil, and all this stuff. And it's really just like, this shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Yesterday, there was a mall shooter. You know, like, bad things happen all the fucking time. And so...
At least in America.
Lots
of shootings.
Oh my God. Portland we had 1,000 shootings in like 23 days or something in Portland. That might not be the right numbers, but I remember there was 1,000 shootings in some record amount of time because there's no one wants to be a cop here. There are literally not enough people to fill these positions, and like for sure I don't want to be a cop here. I don't want to
be a cop anywhere.
No, I don't want to be a cop anywhere. Although I would be a very effective detective sergeant in Ireland, because all they seem to do is tell people what to do and like eat, according to all the shows that I watch. So, I mean, I could do that, but like real police work, no fucking way. So
I actually, when I was a lot younger, half my life ago, I went to school and I was going to be a forensic pathologist.
So jealous.
I didn't end up being one, obviously. But I had to take an entire year of criminal investigation.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it was dope. It was just enough for me to figure out I do not want to be a criminal investigator at all.
Yeah.
It's fucking tedious, and I'm not down for that.
Yeah, it's definitely not as exciting as they make it seem.
No, you have to like do a bunch of stuff and be sober while you do it. Like, I mean, yeah, I can go and get fibers from every inch of your room, but I'm gonna have to be stoned if I'm doing it.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not doing that sober. And if you want me to enter it into a spreadsheet, I'm going to have to be double stoned. I'll do it, and it's going to be a dope-ass spreadsheet. But I'm not going to be sober for it. And that job you have to be sober for.
You know, I'm a huge fan of Paul Holes. He, I know I've talked about him before. I will probably talk about him till the day I die. He's he's solved the Golden State Killer case. He's retired now. He does a bunch of podcasts. And the one thing that I get from listening to all of his podcasts where he's talking about all of these horrible things that all of these people do, is you have to turn yourself off in this really specific way. Mm-hmm. And he's investigated so many things because he did forensic investigation and crime scene processing, and he did like everything science-wise before he went into murder investigation. And so the way that he talks about processing these scenes, especially there's one where there was a body, it's a really good podcast on Audible. It's called The Riddle of Emin Bodfish. It's really...
Oh, yeah.
Did you listen to it? It's so good.
Yeah, I got like a little ways through.
It's really good. And he talks about processing the scene and going in and finding this person who's been dead for days. And having to catalog the bug activity in the larvae to try to figure out.
Fascinating.
It's fascinating, but the practical side of it, I don't think I could hang.
Gore doesn't bother me at all. Even like when I was working with people with like Alzheimer's and dementia in the residential care facility, the gore of packing a wound or dealing with like bodily functions, that didn't bother me in the slightest. But what does bother me is like anytime that a little kid is less than 100% stoked on things, especially like if there's any abuse, kid abuse, elder abuse, abuse of anyone who can't defend themselves, like that shit gets me, and I can't turn that off. And so I would be bad at that job for that reason. I'm amazing at turning my emotions off in any other department, but ever since I had a kid, I just I can't turn that part off.
Yeah, totally. I couldn't do it. I'm way too emotional.
In my younger years, I would have been great at it though. Like I'm very eerily good at compartmentalization. I'm too good.
It's a good coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's not healthy, but it works.
It does, yeah. I eat.
Stuff it down.
So, yeah, stuff it. Dave is a stuffer. I'm an eater. Like I'll eat my feelings a lot.
I kind of do both.
Yeah.
I'm chubby, but I got boobs now, so
I
whatever.
know, right?
Yeah.
We'll miss them when they go if I ever am not chubby again.
I will just continue to buy bras that are a larger size, just like I did when I was skinny.
Yes, I like it. That's what I used to do too. So the special effects designer responsible for designing the Omen's chilling decapitation scene,
this one's so good,
was actually a victim of a weird, tragic twist of events. After moving on to the next film that he was working on, he was in a head-on crash, and his wife was decapitated in that crash. I'll take that.
So the weird thing was, I thought that it was the assistant, but she was decapitated in the exact same, like, he said that looking over, it was eerily similar.
Yeah.
Like, same amount of neck left, same amount of, yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he even said that there was a road sign to the side of the crash that was pointing out that a town called Omen, Ommen, was 66.6 kilometers away. That's what the sign said.
And that's what he said. And
that's what he said.
Yeah, it's like canon. He's like stuck to that.
Yeah, he's never changed his story. I've never found anything. I mean, although it is fantabulous, I don't. Awesome. I think we have to give this one to Satan. I think we do.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Before filming concluded, another animal incident ensued. Oh, yeah. But this one, nobody died, so that was good. When Gregory Peck's stuntman was attacked by the trained Rottweilers in the iconic cemetery scene, they went bananas. And the dogs just tuned out their trainer, and they don't know why, but they just sort of stopped listening. I have a theory. The dogs... they tuned out their trainer and they attacked his stunt double because maybe he had baloney pockets. Now, hear me out. This is a real thing. So when
those fucking baloney pockets.
Now you're a stuntman, right? So you don't have your own trailer. You are sitting out in the cold waiting for your turn to be on camera. I have been on film sets where you just fucking sit for hours. And a lot of times there's a table full of food, right? So you find yourself, you're like, ooh, snacky. Sometimes you find that one little thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to fucking keep some for later because this little cucumber sandwich is so good. But it's the 70s, right? Bologna is a hot commodity.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe on the craft service table, there was something that was a little enticing. He knew he was going to need a little tidbit of something later, and he had bologna pockets. That's my theory. Bologna pockets.
Those dogs were actually owned by actor Dennis Hopper.
Oh, shit.
And he is a method actor, as are his dogs.
Oh, my God. That trumps my baloney pockets theory.
Oh, I fucking made that up.
Oh, okay. Method acting Rottweilers. I love it.
I was method acting when I told you that.
That was very good. You'd be a very good actor.
Yeah. I'm pretty good. I have my moments. I have such a crush on Dennis Hopper.
I can't wait to hear about Dennis Hopper. I'm very intrigued. I know nothing about him.
Yeah, one of the future episodes is titled Dennis Hopper is a Madman.
I love it.
Yeah, so far all I have is a list of known associates, and it's long.
Didn't he hang out with Hunter S. Thompson for a while?
Fucking probably.
During, like, the motorcycle gang thing? I remember reading Hunter S. Thompson books when I was a teenager and being unable to follow them. I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. And then reading them later as an adult, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's his writing style.
You know what? That was kind of the same thing with Anthony Burgess for me, like the Clockwork Orange guy.
Yeah.
I tried to read it when I was a lot younger, and I was like, well, this is fucking gibberish. And then when I got older, after I had done a lot of drugs and known a lot of crazy people, I was like, oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Totally.
I don't even need the glossary at the back. It's fine.
So I'm kind of going to glaze over these because they irritate me. No points to Satan for these because it's a whole series of things about planes being struck by lightning. And you and I have debunked them.
Yep, it happens all the fucking time.
Yeah, you just don't know because you're in a plane, you're not grounded, planes get struck by lightning all the time. And so apparently a bunch of planes were noticeably struck by lightning while they were ferrying stars and various people back and forth. No, Satan, you don't get this one. Sorry. That's just Mother Nature.
Yeah, the only, when I was looking into it, too, because that was my first question, was, how often do planes get struck by lightning? And all the fucking times the answer. Yeah. But, I was like, okay, were they all traveling in, Kansas during
sure.
lightning season or something?
Right.
And admittedly it was planes all over the world, but they were it still happens all the time. So I'm definitely with you on 0 points for you, Satan.
Sorry, as the kiddies say, not today.
Yes, Satan, not today.
One of the film's stuntman named Alf, which I respect that name.
Fuck yes.
Alf joined, went to work on A Bridge Too Far, and he wound up in the hospital after one of his stunts went wrong. In one sequence, he was simply meant to jump from a roof onto an airbag, but he seemed to fall abruptly and strangely, by all accounts. Strangely, I don't know. I picture a whoop, 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 kind of. Maybe that was totally normal way to fall, and he fell silently. I'm not sure. They didn't really get into it, which...
Pet theory. He had a heart attack.
Oh.
So my heart grabbed his heart, kind of just limply fell.
You know what? That makes sense because it says when he woke up in the hospital, he claimed he'd been pushed. If he was having a heart attack, he would have involuntarily experienced some muscle spasms. You know what? None for Satan there either. Okay, the real-life Guildford Cathedral served as a very prominent backdrop in the film, but after The Omen was released, the priests had trouble getting people to attend Mass there, because, not good marketing. And after the building, quote-unquote, sent Damien into a terrible rage, which, can I just say for the record, that little boy, he's having what I would call a totally normal tantrum for a child that age.
How old was he? 3-ish?
3-ish, 4-ish, something like that. And he's just like, no, I don't want to go in there. And my kids, I have 2 boys. They do that shit all the time. They do that to this day. It was a normal tantrum as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I don't know what kind of 70s child sedatives that they gave people, but yeah, But
I need some.
I'm Quaaludes?
If they're gummy ones, I will probably overdose.
Exactly. So it's problematic. It's all very problematic.
Yeah, I've noticed that about a lot of the cursed stuff is partially because we have the internet now, and partially because people, I feel, were maybe a lot more religious and a lot more
that's
prone
a really
to
good point.
justify things it's the devil, as opposed to no, it's a 4-year-old being 4.
Yeah.
No, planes get struck all the time. No, the baboons were trying to get their babies. Stuff like that. It's I don't know if it's...
After doing this deep dive into cursed films, I feel like we have more so debunked, and more importantly, we've realized that with the passing of time, it's like trying to explain DNA to people at the OJ trial. They were like, what do you mean DNA? And now we're sequence my genome for Christmas because I got this 23andMe kit, And it's this totally normal thing. And I think
Catch my predator uncle!
Exactly!
For the record, I don't have any predator uncles. My uncles are rad.
I might have a predator uncle. I don't know. I don't have that many uncles. Maybe a hard maybe on that one. But I think all in all, I'm pretty I'm pretty saddened that this has how it's turned out. I wasn't expecting it.
Sorry to deflate your balloon like
it's
that.
It's a bummer.
friend.
But you know what? I think this opens up a really good opportunity for the future. So like all the movies that are coming out now, all the Rob Zombie movies, all the Saw and the, all the different movies that have become like those movies were, like, let's prove that they're cursed. That could be fun.
But what if they're not?
They're probably not. You know what the curse is?
The curse of the Rob Zombie films is that Rob Zombie won't fucking stop.
That is true.
Which, I mean...
You read my mind.
The fuck of it is, I will watch every fucking film he does.
Every one of them. Yep.
It's not even that I'm necessarily a fan. It's just I like the way that he shoots things.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
So far, 2 of his movies were fucking awful.
Which
Lords of Salem. I was looking forward to it. I saw it in the theater. I got out of it and I was like, what was this shit?
Yeah.
There's no plot. Witches is the plot? Maybe?
Witches are only ever looking for semen. So
was that their plot? They were going to sperm banks and shit?
I've never seen it. I've never seen Lords of Salem, but I just know on What We Do in the Shadows.
There was no plot.
Which has taught me about witches.
Oh, yeah.
They only want semen.
I mean, maybe that's what they were going for, but they just didn't have good directions to the sperm bank. The real villain in that was MapQuest.
Oh, MapQuest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they were looking for jizz. They went into a new season, so they only found bees.
Don't come for us, new baby TikTok witches. Don't come for us. We know that we don't have any witchcraft ideas. I really wanted to see Lords of Salem. Okay, skipping it. What's the other one?
No, you should still watch it because it's terrible.
I love that.
The other one was 33. I'm guessing that it was a Rob Zombie film because it had Sherry Moon Zombie, and that's the only time that she's in anything, which, for the record, I like her quite a bit.
I love her. She's a very passionate vegan animal activist. And that bitch's hair. Oh, girl. Oh, yeah.
You know for sure that that's not like, that's a weave.
Mm-hmm. It's a weave.
It's a good one, though, for sure.
Really good one.
Yeah.
She's got good hair, people.
She's got good lots of stuff.
She's so pretty and nice.
She seems like a nice person. Rob Zombie actually is a really good dude.
Yeah, he seems really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I found out recently? His brother was the singer for Power Man 5000.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Dave laid that on me, and I was like, wow, you got me.
I found that out in like the late 90s or something, early 2000s. I was like, oh, dope.
I remember that his name was Spider. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, a spider with yellow hair. How interesting.
There was a long time where I got Spider and Wayne Static mixed up.
Me too.
Because, I mean, they kind of had the same jizzy hair.
Same jizzy hair, same like, me.
The same thing, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm not very much of a Static X fan because it's not 1998 and I'm not 13 anymore. And I wasn't really a fan then, but there is one song that has a great fucking music video. The song Cold. The music video for it is based on the book I Am Legend.
Oh.
And it's pretty fucking good, man.
That's awesome.
It's, you can watch it with the sound off, sound on, whatever. It doesn't matter. But you should watch that video.
I will.
It's really good.
I will.
That's my favorite book.
You know what? That's everybody's homework now. Go
Fuck
watch that video. Let us know what you think.
It's a dope video.
It's so exciting to get things passed on from your friends about things you should watch. And that's how I found like 90% of the things that I'm super into. And you know what? We're your friends and we're passing this on to you.
That's true. Read the book first and then watch get the audiobook, whatever, and then watch the music video, and it's good.
I'm into it. I want to see it. I just saw a thing last night. It was some TikTok about that Nine Inch Nails video, Closer. But I have flashbacks to when that came out because they were showing little bits of it. I haven't seen that
video in so fucking long.
I know. I remember sitting up. So I used to record. I would just hit record on the VCR and go to sleep. And then in the morning I'd wake up and I would have all the videos that they showed at night on MTV, like 120 minutes, because it was all like Nirvana and Hole and Smashing Pumpkins and all the shit I wanted to see, but you couldn't really get during the day. And I remember sitting in my room watching that videotape going, oh, I hope it's on here. I really want to see it. It's on here. And watching it and going, I feel funny. I feel so funny. What is that feeling? And realizing that I had like conflicted feelings about my sexuality in that moment, and just like I love it because on TikTok it was like this is what it feels like when a song has sex with you. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Okay, I get it.
That makes sense.
I totally get it. So go watch it. Also, very exciting news. November 27th, my new book is coming out. It's called Mirrored Shadows. It is all about, okay, so I'm going to give the breakdown here.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because I'm recording the audiobook now. I'm doing all the things. So November 27th, which is Wolfie's birthday. Aww. I put out my last book a year ago on his birthday. So that's just like my new date. So what happened was quarantine hit, and I watched all 25 seasons of Ghost Adventures while we were quarantining during the beginning of the plague. And then I wrote this book.
Sick. Okay.
So it's about a husband and wife who used to be the number one ghost hunters on TV. And the husband has a stroke, and so they sort of fall into obscurity. And so trying to get back to their former glory, they buy this old amusement park that was always rumored to be haunted. And so the whole thing is about how they want to fix up this park and certify it haunted, and so you can come and have a real, legit paranormal experience. But the harder they work, the more they realize that it might really be haunted. And like, yeah, it's a horror story. It's a ghost story. It's about, like, when does your obsession come at the cost of the people that you love and that sort of thing. So it was so fun to write. It was so fun. And I really hope people enjoy it, even though it's coming out after Halloween. If you're into horror, you might like it. If you're into ghosts, you might like it. If you've watched Ghost Adventures like me, you just might recognize some physical similarities between old Zach Bagans and Asa Thorne, who's my main character.
Cool.
Yeah, Asa's like a combination of my husband and Zach Bagans. So, it's coming out, November 27th. So you're going to hear about it a few more times before then. But yeah, follow us on all the things. We've got our website coming up. Our Patreon is going to be up soon. So keep on us for updates.
And I finally decided to bring myself into the year 2000, and I have an Instagram now.
Yay! You can follow Megan on Instagram.
Yeah, and I'm actually active on the Instagram, unlike on Facebook, where I am fairly inactive. I have an Instagram now.
It's exciting. We're growing.
Awesome. Yeah.
We're growing, we're evolving, and you're coming with us.
That's
all
true.
Of you people that
and
love
I'm
us.
coming with us, too.
Yes! I'm coming down your chimney. I don't know.
Jizz and bees.
Jizz and bees. If you get jizz and bees on Christmas
weird
morning,
Christmas
I've been
present.
there. So, until next time, we love you.
Call you.
Call your mom, I love you.
Dun, 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 dun.